I install a special data pack and now I can activate the portal to go in the new dimension. And now the warden are appear. For the first time the portal I didn't activate, and I think the problem is that the warden didn't burn in the fire. Now the portal are activated and now we can go in the new dimension. After I mine a little bit, I found here a warden. That's my first view of the new dimension. That's literally gorgeous. I return in the overworld because I need to go to beat the Ender Dragon, because I need a lot of shulker blocks and elytra so I can move easier in the new dimension. I go in the nether and I start to beat some enderman for ender portals. 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know exactly if that arcane drops some blaze rod or blaze powder, but I tried. So I continue my journey to find the nether fortress. Finally I found the nether fortress. I start to gather some blaze rod. I guess that I gather enough blaze rod and portal. I make some Eye of Vendor, I make some more fireworks. Now I go to find the stronghold. That's very close to my base. And finally I found the portal. I will make another portal here. I activate the portal. And now I go to beat the Ender Dragon. We are spawned very far from the island and we are survived that journey. Here is the Ender Dragon. Now I need to break the ore crystals. The first one. And now I broke the ore crystals. And again I was very close to die. I beat the Ender Dragon. That was a long battle, but finally I beat that Ender Dragon. And how much XP I get? 69 levels of XP by that battle. And here is the portal to the bigger end. And that's the moment when I go in the bigger end. An incredibly good spawn. Literally very close to an end city. I gather only 2 shulker shells from that end city and I continue to explore. After some searching I found another end city, and that is look like much bigger. I found literally an incredibly diamond pickaxe, but a single problem is the curse of vanish, which I think the item are disappear when I die, but I'm on hardcore and that is not a problem because I will never die. I gather some shulker blocks and now I will go to the ship to gather the elytra. I beat that shulker box and now I can have the elytra. But now I have the elytra and I can fly and travel very fast. I start to chop down some trees. I finished to chop down the old trees and I finished to replant the old saplings which I get from that trees. And I gather a lot of spruce logs. I collect and I replant my old crops, and that's the final result. Now is the time to gather some very good enchantments for that diamond pickaxe. That efficiency 5 are gonna be the first one. A mending, 2 book with unbreaking 2. I get unbreaking 3, I give a special name to that and I place efficiency 5 on that. Unbreaking 3 and mending, and that's a very good pickaxe with seal touch. As I want to transform that into a netherite one, I go to mine some ancient debris. The first 2 pieces of ancient debris, 3 pieces of ancient debris and another one. And I place that to smelt. And now I have a very good netherite pickaxe. I buy 2 more books with unbreaking 2 and 1 with mending. And I start to place that on my elytra and I start to collect the old materials which I can have from that geode. After some time I finished to make a big part, finished to make the amethyst block part, and finally I finished to make the transition from deep slate to amethyst and to calcium. Now I start to fill up that entire shulker box with spruce log. After some time I finished to make some pillars and I start to work on some platform for the mega base. I spend some time here and I prepare a location for my mega base. The next step is to work a little bit more on the pillars, which on my mega base will stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I jump in the water to go up and I was very close to die. 6, 8, and I finished to make the all giant pillars which on I will stay my mega base. Because I want to make a special contrast I need some crimson stamp and I start to chopping crimson stamp. and I broke my diamond axe. Because I want to make a powerful axe, I need some netherite scarp. And I start to mine randomly for 2 more netherite scarp. And here is the first piece and another piece. I make a netherite ingot and a diamond axe. Now I go to gather some enchants. And I gather the all enchanted books which I need. I start to place the enchants on my axe. Because I'm in the overworld, I go to chop down some birch tree with my new axe. I got 4 stack and I think that's enough for that moment. I spent some time and finally I finished to make the all red pillars. 4 and I finished to make the all 4 platforms. Now I need to make that little one from the edge. I took my elytra and I'm very curious to see how that I look like for that moment. And that I look like very good. I have some shroomlight and I will start to place that in random location. And now I will fill up that entire area with birch slab and we finish the giant floor. I finished to surround that entire platform with 2 layers of spruce log. The next thing is to mine more 4 block. Because I have to destroy a lot of skulk, I make an iron hole and I'm very curious to see how efficient is that, and it's more efficient than my pickaxe, because with that pickaxe it's extremely hard to break the skulk. After I finish to make more space here, I will start to work on the pillars. I finished to remove more 8 layers of deep slate, and only now I realized that I didn't have a totem of undying. If I die I lose the world. And the next thing is to go to gather some totem. And that is how I look like my mega base in the new dimension for that moment. When I return home I discovered that I have some totem of undying, so I didn't need to go to bitter ride. Because I need more spruce log, I start to plant some giant trees. That's a little forest. I arrived back to the mega base construction with a lot of materials, 2 shulker box full with spruce logs and with the old tools repaired. I surrounded the entire thing with spruce log and skulk to a special effect. I start a little bit weird design here and I'm very curious to see how that will look like, and that is interesting. 2 wardens. That's incredible, I have 2 wardens here. How I can beat that? The best thing is that I'm on the experimental version and the warden didn't have the sonic boom superpower, so I can beat that in a very easy way, I think. And after some times I finished to mine that entire geode. Back to work. I need to make here some little roof on the edge. I finished to make 3 little roof and I didn't have enough birch to finish the roof number 4, so I start to chop down some birch tree. In meantime I meet with some strange pigs, I think. I finished the all edge. That is how I look like my mega base for that moment. Start to collect sand and some amethyst sharp. That's so beautiful. I place some sand to smelt and I gather a lot of glass. Now I will make some tinted glass, and unfortunately we can't make some glass panel of tinted glass. Seriously? Because I want to have some black panels, I start to beat some squid. I beat that zombie and that's incredible, I got a trident. And I make some black glass and black glass panel. And I start to collect some crimson stamp. Again, that's look like gorgeous. I finished to make the windows and the next thing is to work on the roof. I want to make a special outline, and for that firstly I will work with some birch plank. I think that's a good outline for the beginning. I finished to make the outline and now I will start to work with some crimson stamp. That one is the last piece of that giant roof. That's the interior. I have here a very good shovel from the end. He have curse of vanishing, but that's not a problem. And I start to collect soul soil. I collect a lot of soul soil and soul sand. And I start to gather some coal and some iron. I gather some iron and I place that to smelt. Took my iron and I go back to my mega base. And a lot of soul lantern. I go in the outside and I start to work on the outside design. Also I beat a warden. I make a big part of the exterior, but unfortunately I ran out of iron and I can't make more blue lanterns, so I need to go back in overworld. I mined for iron and accidentally I found that chest, and I have here a golden apple. That's very good. There is the mark art, and after some seconds here I found the stronghold. I arrived back home and I gathered some iron. That's a beautiful mega base, but I want to add more details here. I return in the overworld to get some birch wood. I gather some wood and in the meantime I go to collect some more iron. After some times I gather a lot of iron, and I can say that new type of mountain is the best location where you can mine iron. But unfortunately here is a new type of snow and you need a shovel so you can escape very fast from that new snow. Like that. With the shovel I make some bird slabs and I will start to work on another layer. The next thing is to place some chain here with lanterns. And I'm on the roof. The first lantern. The next thing is to make a very easy way to go from the portal here up in my mega base. So for that I think the best idea is to make a teleportation system. So I could go to collect some redstone and I arrive with the redstone up to my mega base. I return in the overworld because I need a lot of stone to make some repeaters and I beat some endermen for ender pearls and I was teleported to the spawn. I managed to set up a teleportation system and if you are interested about that, it's possible that I will make a tutorial in the future. And now we need to set up that with that ender pearl. I hope that I don't teleport down because if I fall in the water it's possible that I will die, so... And it works. I arrived out of the portal and I'm very curious to see if that entire thing are work. So I need to press that button and I will be teleported directly in my mega base. And I was teleported here up, that's incredible. I need to wait a little bit, around 5 seconds, but after that we are teleported directly here, which is much faster than to go up on the stairs. I search for some water here down and by mistake I beat a wither skeleton and he gave me her head. I managed to make the teleportation system. I place here the ender pearl and now I will test the entire system. If I press here I need to be teleported up. And we are teleported here, but now I want to try that and it works. Perfect. I set up a portal for the end, I activate that and I start to beat endermans for ender pearls. I managed to make the platform, the teleportation system, and now I need to work a little bit on the design of that platform. After some time I finished that observation point and from here I can look at my gorgeous mega base. Because I find the teleportation system, I will place here a button, I press that and I will be teleported in my mega base in some seconds. And we are teleported in my mega base. And that's the observation point from my mega base. I set my spawn and I start to beat endermans for ender pearls. And I succeed to summon an endermite. I named that ZinoFabrik and I coach that in that minecart. Now I have here an endermite to attract the endermans here and to fall down. And I managed to make that little enderman farm. And that are work incredibly good. And that's a very good farm to make a lot of XP and to gather a lot of ender pearl for the teleportation system. And that's the third one. From that observation point I can see much better that new dimension. And that are look like gorgeous. Like my new mega base.